So do you like the backdrop? Coming to you live today from Palm Springs Desert, a Marriott property that's not high on my list. And I stayed at a lot of Marriott properties, let me tell you, over the last 20 years. Had my son's 3 friends fly into LAX last night, picked them up like at 9 o'clock, got them all over to the Coachella Festival here in Indio, California at about 2 o'clock this morning. They're roughing it in the 90-degree heat, spending their time in a 4-person tent, getting ready to see Guns N' Roses, of course, tomorrow. That's what they're really here for. I don't think they care about any of the other acts. Maybe LCD Sound System, but I assure you, they are not going to be standing in line to watch Calvin Harris. They are not going to be standing there to watch Ellie Goulding. No, they're there for those 2 acts, and that's about it. And mainly, GNR is the main one. But I'm doing the smart thing. I'm staying at the Marriott the next few days. Off to San Diego today, so you're going to get another hotel, and hopefully we'll have much better decor. I'm really disappointed as well with this hotel decor. No pictures that you would think about stealing off the wall, nothing that I could auction off. It's just very, very disappointing Marriott property. Hey guys, let's talk about the NBA playoffs, because I'm telling you, it is just amazing how one-sided these games have been. We have had 19 games so far. So the favorites are 13-6 against the spread. That's overwhelming enough. But then you can consider this. Of the 19 games, 14 have resulted in double-digit blowout wins. 13 of them by the favorites. The only dog to win by double digits was on the first day of the playoffs, the first game of the postseason, in fact, when Indiana was the 7.5-point underdog and won outright at Toronto in game number 1. And the under continues to be the play, because you have these lopsided favorites winning by double-digit margins and putting the clamps on their opponents defensively, or you have the opponents that are losing the games that simply can't get anything going offensively. That's why the under is 14-5. So, favorites are 13-6 against the spread. The under is cashed in 14 of the 19 games. And of the 19 games, 14 have been double-digit blowouts, and 13 of those 14 have been captured by the favorite. What does it all mean tonight? Nothing, because it's all cyclical. I've told you this 100 times, guys. Just because these stats are overwhelming through the first week or so of the playoffs doesn't mean anything. It's all cyclical. Everything's eventually going to turn around one way or another. But that's why we have picks, and that's what you can check out on the homepage for all your discounts, all your promotions, including the option since the charity play won the other night, where you can save $175 off the purchase price of any handicapper 60-day package by using coupon code SAVE175, or save $125 off the purchase price of any handicapper's 30-day package by using coupon code SAVE125, or save $50 off the handicapper's 7-day package. Anybody here at the site? By using coupon code SAVE50. Now remember, if you happen to be involved in a handicapper's package already and you want to extend it out further, taking advantage of these discounts, you can. If you have any instant rebates, if they're applicable, you get that bonus as well. And should you ever have any questions, you can always contact customer service. Check out the homepage. As I said, the latest 100-dime release from Steve Budin's incredible Cali Cartel. I think they're going for like 100-dime winner number 20 out of 25 in basketball season. Just an amazing run. Let's talk about the Cavaliers-Detroit game. Now, in game number 1 of this series, I gave you a free selection on the Pistons. In game number 2, I came back with the Pistons again. And I got to be honest with you, after I did that video report a couple of days ago, a couple of minutes after loading it, sending it live to the site, I thought to myself, I think I made a drastic mistake here, because I think Cleveland is going to hammer them at home in game number 2. And that's exactly what happened. 107-90 in game number 2. The Cavaliers won and covered easily, where in the opener, the Pistons were one of the few dogs to get the point spread cover in the postseason when they stayed within the 10.5-point number in a 106-101 loss. But it's been a tale of 2 games for the Pistons in the series as well. In game number 1, they were ungodly effective shooting the 3-ball. The second game, they didn't hit much. They only hit 44% from the field. Game number 1, 15 for 29 from 3-point range. Now, that's great. That's what the Pistons need. That's how Stan Van Gundy has put this team together. That's why he's got shooters like Jody Meeks, because when you hit those outside shots, it opens up the middle and allows Andre Drummond to be more effective. But the problem in this series, not the finger point as being the lone problem, but one of the problems for the Pistons is the performance of Andre Drummond. In game number 1, Kevin Love simply pulled him to the outside, because Love is a much better outside player anyway, and when you pull Drummond away from the basket, you lose your rim protector, you lose the best rebounder, one of the best rebounders in the game, and definitely in this series, and suddenly you eliminate the opportunity for putbacks and second chance points. And game number 2, Cleveland sent him to the line a hell of a lot, almost like a hack-a-shack routine. Well, Drummond is one of the worst free throw shooters in the NBA, and he showed you just why. Pistons were 18 for 32 for free throws in game number 2, and Drummond, although his line scored 20 points, 7 rebounds, look at the performance at the free throw line. Say that 3 times quickly. 4 for 16 in the game. Now, Cleveland's big 3, Kyrie Irving, that guy LeBron, Love, have all played major minutes so far. They played at least 37 minutes each in the opener. They played, James played 40, Irving played 34, Love played 32. As I said at the outset of this series in game number 1, for the Pistons to win a game, they're not going to win the series, but for them to be competitive and to win a game, they've got to play a gritty defensive style play. They've got to slow down the tempo and make every single position a all-out battle. I think they do so tonight. I think this is going to be an extremely close game. But I'm only getting 4 points. And I'm sorry. I don't like Detroit at plus 4 points in this game. If they were getting 6 points at home, I'd be all over them. But 4, kind of an iffy number. But all that being said, Cleveland has been so inconsistent this season. So many times you've seen the Cavs in a game where you're going, oh my God, that's a cheap price, especially on the road. And so many times you've seen them come up losers. So I'm going to take the Pistons, despite having so few points as the 4-point underdog as your complimentary play. The Atlanta-Boston series, my God, that is just, I don't know what to make of that one. I mean, it's a 3-point line with Boston favored at home. I'll leave it to other handicappers here at the site. I looked at that game upside down and every which way around, and I couldn't come up with a winner in that one. I look at the Hawks and I go, Paul Millsap hasn't done anything in this series, and he is their leading scorer and rebounder this season, right? And their bench has certainly not been productive at all. But then I look at Boston, their inside game, it's non-existent. Jared Sullinger is just getting pushed around by Millsap and Horford, and Atlanta's doing a great job defensively. And without Avery Bradley, I really worry about the Celtics being able to hit the outside shots. So that one I'll take a pass on. The big game, of course, for me is the game between San Antonio and Memphis. Your complimentary play in baseball. I'm going to go with the Tigers minus $1.20 at home. With Justin Verlander on the hill. Yes, I know that Verlander is 0-4 with a 5.19 earned run average in his last 7 starts against Cleveland. I know that his earned run average in 3 starts this season is 7.16. And I know that he's giving up 20 hits and 13 runs and only 15 strikeouts in 16 of the third innings so far this season because he's not a power pitcher anymore. But you saw late last season when he returned from numerous injuries that he became more crafty and he became effective. Now, the Tigers have not been hitting the ball here. They've lost 3 of their last 4. They had won 7-10 to open the season. On the other hand, the Indians haven't exactly been doing much either. They're coming off 2 straight losses to cap a 2-4 homestand, those coming against the Mariners the past couple of days. They're going with Josh Tomlin, who only made his first start against the Mets on Saturday for the season. He had to leave the game because of cramping in his hamstring. Nothing major, he says, and pitched well. I mean, he only gave up 4 hits and 5 innings of shutout ball, didn't walk anybody and struck out 6. But the Tigers, I'm willing to take them because of their offensive prowess. I think they'll bounce back here today. And even though Verlander is not the Verlander who was the Cy Young Award winner and the hard-throwing guy from a few years ago, it's a great price to take the Tigers. So I'm going to go with the Tigers as your other complimentary play. And we'll make it a Motor City doubleheader as I'm going to take the Pistons plus the points as well. That'll do it, guys. I wish you well, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow when we do this one more time.